is my town. It's my town. It's my town. It's my town. This is my town. It's my town. It's my town. It's my town. This is my town.
What's up, guys? Control Cast here, bringing you a deck profile for my Madolche deck for the April 2014 ban list, post Dragons of Legend, but pre-Primal Origin, obviously, because it's still April. I feel like the deck's gonna get really dumb after Angeli comes out, because it just gets so many different plays, and it's so hard to stop. It's not gonna be one of those decks where it's just straight derps, where it's like, oh, derp, here's my whole board, derp, deal with it. But it's gonna be one of those decks that's like, okay, I have a play every single turn, even if you have back row, suck a dick. So, you know, those decks are always really fun to play and annoying to play against. So, until then, though, I feel like the deck is still competitive in the meta. I feel like Tiramisu is a huge reason for that. It makes it good against Boujins, it makes it good against Mermail, it makes it good against Firefist, it makes it good against, like, fucking everything. So, without further ado, guys, we're gonna get into the deck profile. I apologize in advance, and I'll apologize again later, just because I love apologizing for some reason. But there are some cards missing from the extra deck, and my set deck is not where I want it to be, so I just left that out of the video. But I really do hope you guys enjoy it. If you have any comments, comment down below. Let me know what you think about this deck. I've been playing this deck for a very long time. It was one of the first decks I ever built on DM when I first started to play. You know, pre-Hoot Cake, pre-all that shit. It was basically just Mageline and Messengelato and the dog and the cat. You played the butler, I think, but like back in Pudding Cess days when I played the deck. But it's never been a deck that that's come to fruition. It's never been a deck that I've actually been able to have the patience to pick up piece by piece. And I guess that tradition continued because I didn't have to pick it up piece by piece. I picked it all up at once. But yeah, in all seriousness though, I'm still, you know, reasonably new to the deck, and I would love your guys' advice if you're any long-time Madolche players out there. The only advice I ask that I don't get is play Trick or Treat. I personally do not like the deck. Props to Jeff Jones for building it and being creative. Props to all those that have had success with it, but personally it does not fit my playstyle at all, and frankly I think it's going to be very irrelevant come Primal Origins, so it's not even worth it picking up that stuff. So this is specifically for people who want to play pure Madolche, and have some success. So again, I'll say it, I mean it this time, I promise. Enjoy the video. Alrighty guys, we'll get right into the monsters. I play triple Madolche Mageline. She is the searcher of the deck, obvious staple at 3. I also play 3, Madolche Hoot Cake. Hoot Cake is broke. I feel like after Angeli comes out, I'll have to test with bumping him down to 2, as I've seen a lot of people do, but for now he is 100% necessary at 3. Also at 3, and I feel is necessary at 3, is 3 Messengelato. Messengelato gets your searches. It makes Palooza searchable. It makes your field or ticket also searchable. It's really strong, and the real reason I play 3 is because I always seem to draw multiples of this card, and it's great to have one in deck. It's pretty much necessary to have one in deck for your Hoot Cake plays and for the Invoker play. To combo with that, I play 2 Mufuli. Depending on the situation, you can either summon a Messengelato or a Hoot Cake with this effect. Hoot Cake is actually, if Hoot Cake's live, Hoot Cake's a better play. Just because you're going to end up with a Messengelato anyway, and that's going to lead into your Invoker play. But this does get Effect Veilered or Fiendish Chained quite a bit. So for those situations, I do play 1 Spell Striker. The only reason I play 1 is instead of 2 is because if I played 2, I feel like I would have to make room for Rhoda in the deck. However, with 1, it's not actually really necessary to play, you know, Rhoda, because you're just gonna, you know, dig through this anyway. This also helps with OTK pushes and getting you out of really awkward hands. And then for consistency purposes, I do play 2 Cardies. This combos very well with Pot of Duality. For the spells, I play 2 Madolche Chateau. Just 2 because it is searchable and recyclable, as is the case with Madolche Ticket. Having both of these on board, especially mid to late game, is super OP. It makes your opponent's Torrentials, Mirror Forces, hell, even Sour Mornings completely useless, because not only are you going to get it back your hand, you're going to get a search, and then it gets stupid. I play 2 Pot of Duality, just for consistency, and because I play the cards, this also makes, you know, next turn Spell Strikers live. It's a good card, but I don't play 3 because this is still a combo-oriented special summoning deck, and you don't want to be clogged with these when you have to make a play. In fact, you'd probably rather have these. I play 2 Forbidden Lance. I do play Trap Stun, but Book of Moon and Spellbook of Fate are still things. Yeah, enough said about that. This also helps you get over, you know, tough monsters and stuff. Follow that up with more back row hate. Triple MST. Like I said, this is a combo deck. Things like Vanities hurt this a lot. Floodgate cards, such as Rivalry of Warlords, hurts this a ton. So, it's just a great card you need at 3 in this deck. I feel like main decking all 3 is definitely the correct decision here. 1 Dark Hole, just to clear boards, and 1 Book of Moon. That rounds out the spell lineup, guys, and onto the traps. 1, Madolche Palooza. It is searchable and recyclable. You only need 1. You're going to flood your hand onto the board anyway, so there's really no need to play more. Triple, Fiendish Chain. One of the best trap cards of this format, in my opinion, because if you have this in a Tiramisu, and they don't have the MST for Fiendish Chain, it's pretty much a GG situation, because all the things they're going to do to get over Tiramisu involve effects or attacking. So, Fiendish Chain's just OP. And since this is a post-Dragons of Legend deck profile, Soul Charge is a thing, guys, so Vanity's Emptiness is key. I feel like if you're not playing, like, Heretics, or a deck that 110% relies on special summoning right now, Vanities is key. It's a staple again, in my opinion, at least for now. It's actually probably going to be more of a staple after Primal Origins, but just stopping that one Soul Charge is usually enough for game, because they're going to put all their resources into it, and then you wait for them to flip Soul Charge or activate Soul Charge once they've, committed everything to the board that they possibly can, and then you Vanities them, and they just kind of lose from there. 2, Mirror Force. Protecting your play is a huge thing, guys. If you get Valor to max seed and don't want to play into it, set one of these bad boys and pass, and you'll be fine. Barring the trap stun, but most times you're going to be safe with these. Speaking of trap stun, I do play one myself, because my play is very important to get off from my deck. Going into the Tiramisu play relies on a lot of different things to have to resolve in order for it to actually be successful. It's not just like a one-card combo. So trap stun really helps out with that when your lances and MSTs aren't enough. 1, Compulsory Evacuation Device, because it's compulse. You can actually abuse Madolche with this, if you have to, which is nice. 1, Bottomless Trap Hole, 1, Torrential Tribute, and 1, Solemn Warning. Kind of standard for those last ones. I have to apologize about a couple things, guys. My side deck in this is not existent. I do have one, but I'm in the process of reworking it. I'm sure once Angeli comes out and I post that deck profile, everything will be, up to par with that. I also have to apologize that my extra deck is missing 3 cards I'm loaning to my buddy that he's going to use at YCS Philly. I'll let you know what those are when I get to them. I start off with 2, Tiramisu. OP, such a good card. Makes so many different decks cry, and it's really good. 1 Honor Arc. It's supposed to be 2. That's one of the cards that I'm missing, so 2 Honor Arc. 1 Black Ship. 1 Diamond Dyer. 1 Downard. Downard's really good because you can actually make her with her actual requirements, which is nice. Every deck I've played her in before relies on me exceeding into a lower ranked monster, and then main phase 2 going into her, but with this deck you can actually make her main phase 1 the correct way with Magdalene's. 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Invoker, 1 Mech Equipped. This card plus Tiramisu is essentially GG against, I'd say, about 90% of situations. 1 Alucard, 1 Leviathan Dragon, 1 Zen Mains. The cards that aren't accounted for other than this is 1 Leviair and 1 Cowboy. So Cowboy, Leviair, and the second 101 are the cards that are missing from this, but those are what I am playing. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for a combo
guys, for the first combo here, we're going to be showing you the basic 2-card derp combo of this deck. And all you need is a random card in grave that is a monster. So we're going to go ahead and say card here. We'll say it's in the grave. And then you need these 2 cards in hand. These can be searched, these can be already in hand or whatever. So this is your hand, this is your graveyard. What you're going to do is you're going to normal summon, usually, use its effect to special summon Hoot Cake. Hoot Cake effect, you're going to banish the card D to special summon from your deck a Messengelato. Messengelado's effect then triggers, and most of the time here, just for damage push, I'm going to grab a Chateau. But depending on your hand and your opponent's board, you can also grab a Ticket or a Palooza. You never know. So from here, what you're going to do is overlay into MX Saber Invoker. Detach. I prefer detaching the Hoot Cake just because I'd rather have it late game than a dead Mufuli. Because you're going to put it back in the deck in a second. And with that, you're going to special summon another copy of Messengelato. So this is Hoot Cake's in your grave, guys. Just put that down there, I guess. So this is your board right now. I'm sure you can see where this is going at this point. So it's in grave. Overlay your 2 Messengelatos into Tiramisu. Now you detach for cost because you do have a live target in your graveyard. Remember guys, it's not just the Madolche monsters, you can also send back anything with Madolche in its name, i.e. Palooza, or Ticket, or Chateau, or whatever. But for this scenario, we're going to put back these 2 dudes here. So these go back in your deck, and now you have a 2700 beat stick that can bounce things that doesn't target, by the way, so it's OP, and a 1600 beat stick that you can reuse if they don't get rid of it, because you just put one of the targets back. That's kind of the first combo with that, guys. I'm going to show you an alternative to that combo real quick. It's very similar, except a little bit more explosive in my opinion, in that it allows for more pressure on your opponent. So again here, you're going to need the Mufuli, the Hoot Cake, and any Madolche monster in grave. For the sake of it just being completely uber super broken, we're going to go ahead here and say it is Messengelato in grave. So we're going to go Mufli into Hoot Cake. Hoot Cake effect to banish, to summon another Gelato. Then you're going to overlay into the Levier that I just told you my buddy is borrowing. Detach for Levier. Again, here I like to detach Hoot Cake in this scenario to bring back Gelato. You don't get its search effect this time, but with the first one you're probably going to get Chateau anyway, so could have just left that there. And then again, you're going to make Tiramisu, effect, bounce, and there's your board. Again, this is very similar. It's just the only difference is, since you had one engrave that was live, Levier can be made instead of X-Saber Invoker. And the reason that I feel like this is more pressure on your opponent is because an Invoker, A, has less attack, and B, there's less targets for it. Levier, you can get any of your banished monsters or any of your opponent's banished monsters if they don't get rid of Levier. And most of the time, people are going to do their best to get rid of Tiramisu, so Levier is going to remain on board, which is when it gets kind of silly. Oh, for the record, guys, if you have the Madolche engrave, if you search out the Chateau, don't play it right away because it's going to shuffle that back into your deck, and that's not what you want. And then for the last little wombo combo here, you're going to need... This one's a bit more silly. It requires more stuff. Doesn't really matter. And then, okay. Alright, so it's going to need some combination of these 5 cards. You're definitely going to need Mufli, 100%. You're going to 100% need Spell Striker. Alright, now this card is going to represent any monster card in your grave. This Gelato could either be a straight Gelato or a Hoot Cake. Now, if you have the Hoot Cake, you need the monster engrave. If you have the Gelato, you don't. So, we'll say just for the sake of explosiveness that it is a Hoot Cake in hand. So basically for this, you're going to need these 3 cards with a monster engrave. You're going to start the play the same way. Oh, and a spell. So we'll just Chateau because it's right here. So, monster and spell engrave. Summon Mufli. Summon Hoot Cake. Hoot Cake effect. Banish to summon Gelato. This board's looking very similar already. We're going to add another Chateau, whatever you want. Doesn't matter. We'll say we add Chateau because why not? So you activate it because it's more damage. And then you're going to banish the Chateau in your grave or the spell in your grave for Spell Striker. Alright, now's where things start to get a bit silly because there are different ways you can do this. Actually, for sake of explosiveness, we're just going to go balls deep here, say screw the card cardy, and make it any level 4 Madolche monster in your grave, like that was in your grave. So we'll say Madeline, just because why not? Actually, you know what? I'm going to keep taking the shit back. We're going to go with Gelato just because we're going to go, like, super hardcore with this. So you banish that just for Hoot Cake, whatever. Alright, now you have this on board. You're going to overlay into Levier. I'm not going to explain again why I don't actually have a Levier. Always detach the Madolche in this situation. So detach your Mufli, and then you're going to get back Gelato. Gelato's effect triggers because you do still have the Hoot Cake on board. You're going to grab a ticket or Chateau, depending on which one you grabbed at first. So grab your ticket. And then you're going to continue with the shenanigans here with Tiramisu. And then things get kind of dumb. Alternative, very, very slight alternative, but it makes it a bit better, is if when you're at this point, instead of having the other, level 4 engrave and doing that play, we're going to say that you have a level 3 Madolche. Oh, Mufli's still on board. That's not Mufli. Doo-doo-doo. Ignore me, guys. I'm all over the place. It's late at night, but it's whatever. Oh, there it is. Alright, so that's on board. Now, we'll say we had another Hoot Cake engrave. So, we banish the Hoot Cake for Hoot Cake effect, get this. All that shit's the same. But now, you're going to still make Levier. Levier effects. Grab back your level 3. And then you're going to overlay into your best buddy Invoker. And then Invoker's effects. And then you're going to get another Gelato. And then you have Tiramisu, Levier, and Invoker. Which means if they don't get rid of your play, you basically win next turn. So yeah. That's just a few of the broken combos with this deck. None of them are really super derp at this point. If your opponent has a clear board, and you stop at this, with Chateau on board, that's game. Because 16 plus 18 is... Math, Derek, math. Is 3,400. Yeah, 3,400 plus 21 is 70-something. 7,500, and then Cowboy. But if they don't have an open board, Tiramisu. And yeah, so that's a good board. Alright guys, my camera's about to die, so I guess that's gonna have to be it for the combos for now. Sorry about me being kind of jumbled and all over the place. It's really late at night, but I did want to share this with you guys. Thanks for watching. As always, like, comment, and sub for sub. Controlled Chaos, signing out.